welcome back to Chety and Lycan's Horror Party Massacre. We have had a little bit of a slip up with the electricity here in the office today. So, because the shit's shut down, and I gotta stay here for another hour doing nothing until they fix it. It's time for a video. About time, actually, for Chety's top 10 favorite horror movies with a couple honorable mentions. These movies are in no real particular order. There are also several movies in here that just might surprise you because they are by far not stellar movies, especially not in the horror genre, let alone any genre. But I'm going to tell you why on some of them. Some of these are going to get explanations. Some of them are going to get a little story. Some I'm just going to get my thoughts. Well, let's stop yakking and scratch the nose. No, let's stop yakking and get right to it. Squirm. Yes, Squirm. The Jeff Lieberman movie about killer worms. That's on your favorite movie list, Chety? Really? What the fuck is wrong with you? Well, here's a little story on this one. This was a sentimental value. When I was growing up, I was so obsessed with horror movies that I actually, by my parents, was banned from them. I thought it was going to be a forever type thing at that age. I thought, oh, I'm never going to get to see another one of these glorious, scary fucking movies. I was so depressed. And then one night when we sat down to supper, my dad goes over and he puts in a laser disc. The original laser disc. We had one of those, and he slides it in, something he got from the library, and up on the screen comes this glorious movie about killer worms that burrow up into your body and crawl around and eat you from the inside out. No, Squirm is by far not a great movie, but it's got that memory of my return to horror movies. The other movie that we watched that night is also on this list. This one is more deserving in the eyes of many horror fans. That's Day of the Dead by George Romero. Don't throw hate. I love Night of the Living Dead. It's a great movie. I love Day of the Dead. Hell, I love Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, Survival of the Dead. I like all the Romero Dead movies. But Day of the Dead for me is the best. Not just because of the sentimental memory, nostalgia, not just because of the memories of returning to horror with this particular movie, but it's a great flick. I've always loved movies that are in mines, that are underground. Sewers, yeah. Speaking of which, I just thought of another fucking movie that should be on my top 10 list. I'm going to have to do 2 top 10 lists because I keep thinking movies that are going to get edited. But back to Day of the Dead. It's graphic. It's a great story. It's got characters that you're just cheering on. It's got characters that you just hate. It's got characters that you love to hate that act like pus buckets. Rest in peace. Day of the Dead is in my top 10. It's a great fucking movie. Speaking of the dead, how about The Video Dead? Zombies coming out of an old, cursed TV set. And apparently there's one way to slow them down, and that is to hang up a mirror. Yeah. Zombies from a TV. I remember you hang up a mirror and it slows them down. Seems like I remember something about dancing too. I think if you played music on the radio or something, they would dance or they would be mesmerized by it or something. This one, ladies and gentlemen, is boys and girls, childrens of all ages. This one has no reason at all. I don't know why I like it. I'll never understand why I like it, but I do. It's no sentimental value, no great fond memories. I just do. And it's got a really fucking badass cover. Now this one here. Just checking. This next one here is something that's on a lot of people's list if they ever made one. And that's John Carpenter's The Thing. God, that movie is just perfection from top to bottom. Great environment, great acting, great atmosphere, great effects, great story, great everything. There is nothing wrong with that movie at all, except the fact that it's got a sequel or a prequel, and people want a sequel. It's the only thing wrong. Nothing else is wrong with this movie. It does not need a sequel. It did not need that prequel. It is perfect in every way. Halloween 3. I love the Halloween movies. I mean, even the bad ones, they're still Michael Myers. So it's got that going for it. But Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, that only has Michael Myers on display in a TV movie on the spook night things. Halloween 3 is another great movie. It's a great departure from the world of Michael Myers. It's what John Carpenter intended for every Halloween movie once a year to do, is tell a new story. Tom Atkins, the fucking man, the Mac Daddy, the Pimp Daddy, getting it on and kicking ass. Halloween 3 is great. It took me forever to figure out how the assassin killed the first guy in the bed. And then when I figured out how he did it, God, that's fucking nasty. Friday the 13th movies, another series of movies that I absolutely love. I actually love my Friday the 13th movies more than I like Halloween, more than I like Nightmare on Elm Street, definitely more than I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But with Friday the 13th, you got a shit ton of them. What's your favorite one out of the bunch? Part 5. Go figure. That is almost everyone's most hated movie. A lot of people, when they talk Friday the 13th movies, they say Jason X sucks, Jason Goes Manhattan sucks, Part 5 sucks. I disagree. Part 5 had characters that were just goofy enough and oddball enough that they just grew on me. The kills were great. Chock full of nudity, which, a lot of folks go for that. It doesn't affect me one way or the other, to be completely honest. But, God, Junior and Ethel. What are you, dumb or something? It's such a great movie. Slumber Party Massacre. That's another one of my favorites. Again, I don't know why. It's not a great movie. I just love it. And I love all three of them. All three are good. In fact, I couldn't really pick a favorite out of all three. You got the first one, which you always got to give props to, because it's the first one. It's the original. But the second one, with the guitar playing driller killer in the leather coat and the long hair, singing and dancing and slashing and hacking and drilling and killing, fucking unbelievable. The third one, just as good. Nothing goofy about it, except for some little yuppie taking on the role of the driller killer. But it's still a good flick. Nobody likes Part 3. I happen to like Part 3 just as much. Strangers Pray at Night. God, I could watch that movie over and over again. Every time that comes on, I'm going to sit and watch it. The music is great. The man in the sack, Damien Maffei, great. The kills, great. Atmosphere, great. There's just so much, again, about this movie that is so great. It's almost near perfect. Even the ending, where it kind of drops into a standard slasher realm, where he gets burned and stabbed and hit with a bat and all this stuff, and he still keeps coming. Even that, it's a great movie. I listen to the soundtrack even still. Terror Train. Terror Train is a great flick as well. I'm saying a lot of these films are great, and that's why, and they are, because this is my top 10 favorite movies. I'm going to call them all great. So pardon my greatness, or my usage of the greatness terminology, but they're great. Terror Train, I love that one. Jamie Lee Curtis on the train where they're having the little costume party for New Year's Eve. The killer keeps hopping back and forth between outfits. It's another one of those movies that is just freaking, it's so enjoyable. Again, I keep saying it, the atmosphere, it's in the wintertime. The killer's reasoning is kind of pussy. It's kind of, you're kind of a crybaby for this, but be that as it may, if he wasn't a crybaby, we might not have this movie. Momentito somewhere, you know. Let me check my computer real quick too while I'm at it. Nope, nothing yet. Now, where were we? I think we were talking about Terror Train. Not very bloody, and very light on the nudity, which always is a good thing for Chety and Lycan, and we prefer it that way because we want more scares than tits. Kind of strange saying that for a guy, isn't it? Kind of strange hearing that from a guy, ain't it? But in any case, it still had a good atmosphere. It was a good whodunit. I mean, you kind of knew whodunit. You kind of figured that it was going to be Alfred from the beginning. But, you know, the secret reveal of who else. You knew who he was in the movie. You knew that he was in the Groucho mask. You knew he was in the old man mask. You knew he was in the lizard man outfit. But who else did he play? What other person was he in there? That was the fun part, too. That reveal. Oh, my God. I was like, whoa. How did you people not know this? How did I not know this? In any case, we got one more on the top 10 list. The Ruins. You got your atypical college kids on vacation, spring break, whatever, in some tropical island place, some tropical land. They meet up with some German kids to party with. The German kids talk them in and they say, hey, we found these ruins out in the jungle. My brother, he's doing an excavation. Let's go check it out. It'll be fun. Sure, it'll be fun, they said. They go out there. No sign of the original excavators. They climb up the ruins, which is pyramid-like, overgrown with interesting flowers. Turns out the plant life inside of this ruins is carnivorous. Very carnivorous. Movie is very carnivorous. Now we have the dilemma of them trying to get down away from the carnivorous plant life, as well as the natives who know what is up there and know that anyone that gets there has to stay there and die. Otherwise, they'll bring seeds and spores and shit down, and it'll spread like wildfire, and then the whole planet will be eaten by a carnivorous plant. So now you got the kids trying to get down, trying to escape the villagers, trying to escape the plants. The plants are crawling inside of them and burrowing up inside their bodies, and they're cutting them out and cutting off legs. It's really a fun fucking movie. Thoroughly enjoyable. Not a lot of people like that one, I don't think. I liked it, but I love it even more because The Ruins was the date movie for myself and my wife Lycan. It was the first movie that we went to the theater on a date to go and see, even though we were already dating. It was the first movie we went and sat down together and seen at the theater and shared the popcorn and the cherry Coke. I'll never have any bad memories of that movie. I will always have fond memories of that because of that very reason. Even if the movie was utter complete shit, I would still call it my favorite movie because it was me and my wife. I love you, honey. So, that is the first of possibly many top 10 lists. I hope you liked it. I would like to know what your number one favorite horror movie is. Go ahead and down in the comments, give me a heads up. What is the best horror movie in your opinion? Maybe if I've seen it, I'll argue with you. Maybe if I haven't seen it, I'll go and check it out. But I can't do either one of those if you don't tell me down below in the comments. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a message in the comments. I know that's a lot to ask, but Come on, guys. And if you can't do any of that, if you can't like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, if you can't do those 4 things, then just do one. What the fuck's a thumb for? Do one thing for me. You know what it is. You know what I like. Stay spooky.
I like it spooky.
I want to thank you. Anything you want, you just name it.